folks, welcome back to the channel. I picked up this old Ibanez RX. It's a Korean made guitar and I'm assuming it's probably 90s just because of where it's made and some of the construction. And it's got a couple of stickers on it, and I thought I might just show maybe number one, a little bit about this guitar, and number two, sticker removal, which can be an interesting process. So I'm going to get started on that and let's see how that goes. Alright, well, nothing against Grace Covenant Church or church guitar players in general, but I don't want this sticker on the face of this thing. This is the moneymaker side of the guitar, so I'm going to peel this, and you know, this is a vinyl sticker, so I'm hoping it stays in one piece, but I know, oh, it's not vinyl. Interesting. This is a metal sticker with a vinyl layer. But anyway, I hope it stays in one piece, and I hope that, oh, you know what? This is two stickers. There's a vinyl sticker on the bottom, and there's a metal sticker on the top. So Grace Covenant Church was not the first sticker that got put on this guitar. So, see that the vinyl stickers come off pretty easy, but this metal sticker is leaving quite a residue. Alright, well, that actually looks like it might be a beer label. It probably is. Something that says it's crafted in Italy. Hard to say. Anyway, I recommend when you're taking stickers off of a guitar not using tools, because tools will scratch finishes easier than anything. So I'm using fingernails, really light touch, and just picking at it a little bit. And then I'll get the Goo Gone out and we'll see if we can't get rid of this residue. Alright, well, picking at this for a while, I've gotten it down to where it's just the sticky residue that's left, and none of the paper, none of the vinyl, none of the metal. So the product that I like to use most often on stickers is Goo Gone. And I like to use the gel because it doesn't run near as bad. And you want to make sure you get this all over the residue. And it's supposed to sit there. And sometimes that can be hard on a sloped surface like this, but alright, well, that's the application. Now I just want to wait just a bit before I get to attacking that spot. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Yeah, that's going to come off. Alright, great. So that one came off. Now, Goo Gone leaves a really greasy residue. I don't know what's in the stuff, but it's got to be petroleum based. And I usually take that off with Windex. Alright, well, there's a couple more on the back here. Somebody was a big fan of Dean Markley strings. So I'm going to take off this cover because I just realized that I'm missing most of the screws anyway. Alright, now I've got access to these, and I think these are vinyl, so they should come off pretty easy. But they're going to leave a lot of residue. You know, a lot of sticker removal depends on the angle that you pull. And, you know, I usually try to pull at about a 45 to see if it's going to come off clean. And a lot of times when you pull at that angle, it will not leave some of the residue behind. It just depends on the age of the sticker. Sometimes if you pull more straight up, it helps. But the less you can stop and start, like I just did, the better you have a chance of it coming off clean. Let's try this one. That one came off a lot cleaner. Mostly because I just did it in one action. Alright, let me grab some towels and we'll go with some Goo Gone. Alright, well, they're coming off. It's just that this bottom one's going to take a lot more elbow grease than the top one did. The top one is completely gone. The bottom one has some residue around the top here, so I'm going to keep scrubbing on that, and then I'm going to hit the whole thing with some Windex, and then we'll look inside this cover and see what's there. Okay, I'm getting there. Here's the front, all cleaned up. and the back all cleaned up. So let's take a peek and look under this cover. I don't really know much about the RX series. This one says it's an RX170. I really don't even know what that designation means or which ones are available, but let's take this cover off and see how the wiring looks. And I'm guessing it will look very 90s Korean. Alright, well here's the deal. Looks like Ibanez is using, at this time period, it's using full-size pots, one of those breadboard style switches that's covered in a metal case, shielded wire, and a shielded cavity and cavity cover. There's shielding paint all in this thing, so not bad. Actually, there's one cloth covered wire in there, so I don't know exactly what vintage this is. I'm assuming it's probably mid-90s. Looks like it's pretty decent quality stuff in here for the price point. I'll have to plug it in and see how it sounds. One thing I can tell that's off on this thing right away is pickup height. It's all over the map, so I just want to do a real quick adjustment of pickup height. I'm not going to get real precise because I'm probably going to blow this thing apart, but let's just see if we can't get this pickup height somewhere close to where it should be. Okay, that's in the ballpark. Let's see what we're dealing with here now. Switch isn't too scratchy. Volume pot's a little scratchy. Tone pot's very scratchy. Alright, well the pickups work. That's a good thing. So I need to clean these pots, need to clean the switch, and you know, everything seems to work, so that's good. Alright, well I use deoxit to clean pots, and I should really invest in some spray, but I've got the brush, so we're going to use it. So I usually just jam it up in the pots and the openings, use plenty of it so that it runs down in the pot. And then once it's in there, you just rotate the pots around and around, and the friction cleans up the contacts. Alright, well things are cleaning up nicely for the electronics, and I think, you know, I'll probably end up taking this thing apart and looking at the humbuckers a little more closely, but let me check out the neck and make sure the neck's in spec, and I'm going to evaluate the strings and just make sure that I definitely want to take it apart. Alright, well looking at things with my neck radius gauges, I'm thinking this thing is either a 10 or a 12. It's a little bit hard to tell. I'm leaning towards 12. And I'll see if I can't verify that spec online. Let me check the neck relief. Alright, well neck relief looks pretty good. It's about 10 thousandths, which is really close for this neck radius, and I don't think I'm going to touch it. So let's just verify the action. Well, someone likes me because the action looks good on this thing too. So I want to verify that none of the strings fret out. Alright, good deal. Well, I'm actually pleased with the way this thing is set up. I do want to clean this fretboard a little bit. That's really the only thing I want to do. And, you know, I don't know. The strings look pretty good. I think I may just leave this one alone. I can find a switch tip for this while I'm at it. So let's just throw one of those on there. Just digging my bag of parts here. That looks like a foreign imported switch tip. Now it works. Alright, well, this switch is very well recessed into this body because it's a wood mounted switch instead of a pickguard mounted switch. So pushing the switch tip all the way down made it where it was difficult to reach some of the positions of the switch, but that's probably why it was missing to begin with. Well, since this thing plays pretty well and is set up pretty well right now, I hesitate to take it apart, but the pickups look nasty, and I really want to clean that with every fiber of my being. So I am going to go ahead and detune this, put a capo on the first fret, and at least pull the neck off and set it to the side so that I can clean up, and I might replace the tape on these humbuckers. Well, here's the humbucker, and it's nothing special. It's just, just some import model that I'm really not, it doesn't have any identifying markings of any kind. It's just really dirty. And again, I'm gonna clean these up. So what I've got is a roll of fiber tape, what I call humbucker tape, but it's just a roll of, I think this is 15 millimeter fiber tape. And so what I'll do is just peel off the tape or cloth tape that's on here already, rewrap it, and it'll look closer to new. Not new because these things are pretty worn, but I'll get all the dust and debris out of them and blow them out, and they'll look a lot better. Alright, well, I didn't know if y'all would want to see me wrap a humbucker or not, but I might as well show it. Again, this is 15 millimeter tape. You can get different widths, and the reason you might want a different width is just so that you can go around in one wrap versus maybe 2 or 3, but I'm going to start here on the base of the plate here, and then when I wrap my last pass around, it will come really close to the top of the bobbin. So that ensures that I'm going to cover up everything important, like all the electronics and whatnot that are in here. But it also ensures that I'm going to get good adhesion, because if you don't catch that base plate, this stuff can have a tendency to ride up. Alright, so now I am on the plate and I'm trying to work my way up to the bobbin, to the top of the bobbin. There we go. Alright, well, that one is rewrapped, and I'll try to get a still photo in here, and I'll compare the new one to one of the older ones, and I'll show you the difference before and after. Alright, well, I've got all the humbuckers cleaned back up. I've got the neck reinstalled, and I went ahead and I set action, I set intonation, I set pickup height, I checked the neck relief again, and these are all the things you have to do to really set up a guitar properly. Just keep all that in mind. I would say, if I was telling you what order to do things in, tune the guitar to pitch, do your neck relief first, then set your action, your intonation, and then your pickup height. You definitely have to do pickup height last because it really depends on your action. Keep all that in mind. I've got all that stuff in other videos, so I'm not going to repeat it here. I think this guitar is actually a pretty cool little guitar for the price, and I think I paid like 50 bucks for it or something, but you know, it's not perfect. The tuners are junk. It's got the same diagonal tuners that you see on a lot of Asian guitars. But the pickups actually look like they're splittable if I wanted to, or at least tappable, I guess I should say. You know, they're noiseless. They're fairly noiseless when they're in their humbucking positions. This middle single coil is not. It's pretty noisy. And the pots and the switch all seem to work fairly well, even though the switch is cheap. Other hardware, strap buttons, string trees, some of that stuff, that all seems pretty good. Tremolo seems, you know, it's okay. Anyway, for the price, good stuff. It's definitely a lot better than the $50 guitars you're going to find from today's era. So that's going to be it for today. I appreciate you guys liking and commenting on my videos, and I really appreciate you guys subscribing to my channel. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks a lot.